Few figures in Celtic mythology command as much awe and mystery as the Morrigan. Known as a goddess of war, fate, and transformation, she has intrigued scholars, storytellers, and spiritual seekers for centuries. But who is the Morrigan, and why does her legend still resonate today? Let's dive into the shadowed depths of her story. The Morrigan originates from Irish mythology, particularly within the tales of the Tuatha De Danann, the supernatural race said to have ruled Ireland in ancient times. Her name can be translated as Great Queen or Phantom Queen. But the Morrigan is not just a singular goddess. She is often depicted as a triad encompassing three aspects: Badb, Macha, and Nemain. Badb, the crow, represents prophecy and fate. Her role in mythology is to forewarn warriors of their impending doom or to herald a decisive victory. She's the whisper on the battlefield, the scream in the night. Her name itself means crow or scald crow, emphasizing her connection to these sacred birds that are seen as omens. When Badb appears, change is inevitable. She's the seer who reveals the threads of destiny before they unravel. Her abilities go beyond mere prediction. She actively shapes the events she foresees, guiding warriors toward their fates with her chilling cries and spectral presence. Legends speak of her washing the bloodied armor of doomed warriors in a stream, a vivid and haunting image that underscores her role as a harbinger of death. Macha, the second aspect, is deeply tied to sovereignty and the land. She represents the health of the kingdom, often depicted as a goddess whose power is intrinsically linked to the ruler and their ability to govern justly. Her stories reflect the intimate connection between the land's fertility and the strength of its leader. One of her most well-known myths tells of her being forced to race against the king's chariot while pregnant, a tale that ends with her curse upon the men of Ulster. This curse, which leaves them incapacitated during times of war, illustrates her role as a protector of women's sovereignty and a force to be reckoned with when wronged. Macha's ties to the land also suggest a deep understanding of balance and justice, emphasizing that no kingdom can thrive without respecting its people and environment. Nemain, the third aspect, embodies frenzy and chaos. She's the goddess of the battle's madness, the surge of adrenaline, the cacophony that confuses and overwhelms. Her presence on the battlefield would send opposing armies into disarray, a supernatural force that disrupted their ability to fight effectively. Nemain's energy is raw and unfiltered, representing the unrelenting chaos of war. Ancient accounts describe her as inspiring terror so profound that warriors would turn on one another in blind panic. Her chaotic influence wasn't limited to warfare. It extended to any situation where the intensity of emotions could lead to upheaval, demonstrating her dominion over human psychology and primal instincts. Together, these three aspects form the Morrigan, a force that governs life, death, and rebirth. Scholars have debated whether the Morrigan's triadic nature represents three distinct deities or three facets of the same goddess. This ambiguity is part of her allure as she defies simple categorization. The Tuatha De Danann themselves were no ordinary beings. They were said to have descended from the goddess Danu, bringing with them a rich tradition of magic, warfare, and wisdom. The Morrigan's association with this powerful lineage only adds to her mystique. Her ability to embody multiple roles simultaneously makes her one of the most complex and compelling figures in Celtic mythology. Archaeological evidence, including inscriptions and carvings, suggests that the Morrigan was venerated for her role in shaping the fates of both individuals and entire clans. One of the most striking pieces of evidence is the prevalence of crows and ravens in ancient Celtic art and their consistent association with battle and prophecy. These birds were seen as her messengers, their movements and cries interpreted as signs from the goddess herself. The imagery of crows circling above battlefields or perching ominously on tree branches served as powerful reminders of the Morrigan's presence and influence. Ritual sites dedicated to the Morrigan often featured sacred groves, streams, and cairns. These locations were believed to be portals to the other world, where communication with deities and spirits was more accessible. Excavations of these sites have revealed artifacts such as offerings of weapons, animal bones, and ritual tools, emphasizing her association with both war and divination. The presence of flowing water at many of these sites ties her to the cyclical nature of life and death, as rivers were often seen as symbolic boundaries between realms. In literary sources like the Lebergabala Erin and the Cathmage Tuai Red, the Morrigan is depicted as a crucial figure in battles, often rallying the Tuatha De Danann with her prophecies and warnings. These texts highlight her dual role as a goddess of destruction and renewal, where her interventions often lead to significant turning points in the narrative. For instance, her prophecy of victory during the Second Battle of Moytura was a moment of inspiration for her people, underscoring her importance as a figure of hope amidst chaos. In modern times, the Morrigan has become a prominent figure in neo-paganism and contemporary spiritual practices. Her multifaceted nature allows individuals to connect with her on various levels, whether as a goddess of war, a protector of sovereignty, or a guide through personal transformation. Contemporary followers often build altars dedicated to her, adorned with symbols such as feathers, swords, and images of crows. Rituals dedicated to the Morrigan frequently involve symbolic acts of empowerment, such as meditations on overcoming fear, releasing past traumas, or embracing personal power. Her resurgence in modern spirituality highlights her timeless relevance. As individuals grapple with personal and societal challenges, the Morrigan's lessons of resilience, transformation, and confronting shadow aspects resonate deeply. Her myths and symbols continue to inspire artists, writers, and spiritual practitioners, ensuring that her legacy endures as both a historical and contemporary force. The Morrigan's most prominent role is as a goddess of war and death, appearing to warriors before battle. She's both a harbinger of doom and a bringer of victory. Her presence often signifies that a great shift is about to occur. One of her most famous appearances is in the Ulster cycle, where she encounters the hero Cu Chulainn. Disguised in various forms, including as a young woman offering him love, and as a crow, she tests his strength and seals his fate. This encounter between the Morrigan and Cu Chulainn is rich with symbolism. Her disguises highlight her mastery of transformation, a theme central to her identity. By appearing as a cow, eel, wolf, and finally a crow, she demonstrates her connection to the natural world and her ability to influence events from the shadows. Each form she takes is deeply symbolic. The cow represents abundance and sustenance, the eel speaks to cunning and adaptability, the wolf embodies ferocity and primal instinct, and the crow ties her directly to death and prophecy. This sequence of transformations underscores the Morrigan's fluidity and her ability to adapt to any circumstance to achieve her aims. Beyond Cu Chulainn, the Morrigan's interactions with other figures in Irish mythology further illustrate her complex nature. In the Second Battle of Moytura, she plays a pivotal role in rallying the Tuatha De Danann against the Fomorians. Her rousing speeches and vivid prophecies not only inspire courage, but also cement her position as a goddess who operates on both the physical and spiritual planes. After the battle, she is said to have proclaimed victory in a poetic chant, reaffirming her connection to both the land and the people. The Morrigan also serves as a psychopomp in many myths, guiding souls to the other world. This role highlights her dominion over life and death, as she ensures that the dead are honored and transitioned appropriately. Her association with rivers in this context is particularly poignant, as these bodies of water often symbolize the passage from one realm to another. The river Eunice, for example, is described in lore as a site where the Morrigan would appear, further emphasizing her presence at liminal spaces. Her myths extend beyond the battlefield into the realms of personal transformation. The Morrigan is not merely a goddess of external wars, but also of the inner conflicts that shape human experience. Her lessons challenge individuals to confront their fears, embrace change, and find strength in vulnerability. This aspect of her mythology continues to resonate, offering timeless wisdom for those willing to face their own inner battles. In many ways, the Morrigan's mythology serves as a mirror for the human condition. Her dual nature, destructive yet nurturing, chaotic yet wise, reflects the complexities of life itself. Her myths challenge us to look beyond the surface, to understand the deeper truths hidden within the chaos. Each tale featuring the Morrigan invites us to explore our own resilience and capacity for transformation, as she embodies the inevitable cycles of growth and decay that define existence. The Morrigan is not just a figure of the past, but an enduring archetype that continues to guide and inspire. The Morrigan is closely associated with crows and ravens, birds often seen as omens of death or change. Their appearance in mythology and modern sightings during moments of transition are believed to be signs of her presence. These birds are not merely messengers, but extensions of her will. In some tales, they are said to perch on the shoulders of warriors, whispering prophecies of victory or doom. This deep connection to crows and ravens emphasizes the Morrigan's role as an intermediary between the seen and unseen worlds. Her association with rivers further solidifies her connection to liminal spaces. Rivers, often seen as the boundary between life and death, are sacred to the Morrigan. In some traditions, she is said to appear by riversides, washing the clothes or weapons of those fated to die in battle. This haunting image reminds us of her role as both a guide and a harbinger, marking the transition from one phase of existence to another. The act of washing is deeply symbolic, representing purification, transformation, and the acceptance of fate. The color red is another powerful symbol tied to the Morrigan. Representing blood, passion, and power, red encapsulates both the vitality of life and the inevitability of death. This duality reflects her nature as a goddess who embodies both creation and destruction. Red is often seen in descriptions of her presence, whether in the fiery skies of dawn before a battle or the crimson rivers that flow after it. Sacred spaces dedicated to the Morrigan often feature these symbols prominently. Altars might include feathers, stones, and offerings of wine or meat, all chosen to honor her connection to war, prophecy, and transformation. Modern practitioners who feel drawn to her often report dreams or visions involving these symbols, seeing them as signs of her guidance. The presence of these elements in rituals and meditations allows individuals to connect with her energy and seek her wisdom. Another potent symbol is the wolf, occasionally linked to the Morrigan in her role as a fierce protector and hunter. The wolf's predatory nature and its pack mentality resonate with her ability to act both independently and as part of a larger force. The wolf embodies the primal instincts of survival, loyalty, and transformation, all of which align with the Morrigan's attributes. Through these symbols and sacred animals, the Morrigan communicates her presence and influence. They act as reminders of her lessons, urging us to embrace transformation, honor the cycles of life and death, and face challenges with courage and determination. Whether through the haunting cry of a crow or the stillness of a river's edge, her symbols invite us to explore the mysteries she represents and to find strength in the face of uncertainty. Working with the Morrigan can be an intense but transformative experience. To establish a connection with her, it is important to approach with respect, clarity of intent, and a readiness to face both external and internal challenges. The Morrigan values strength, but not just physical prowess. Emotional and spiritual strength are equally important to her, and those who seek her guidance must be prepared to grow in these areas. Offerings are a traditional way to honor and invoke the Morrigan. Dark wine, raw meat, and symbols of war, such as swords or shields, are common. However, offerings can also take the form of acts of courage or moments of personal empowerment. For example, confronting a fear, standing up for justice, or embracing a significant change in your life are modern ways to show your dedication to her. Meditation and visualization are effective practices when working with the Morrigan. Imagine her standing beside you, perhaps as a crow perched on your shoulder or as a fierce warrior guiding you through a difficult situation. These visualizations can help you access her energy and gain clarity in your own life. Rituals that incorporate her sacred symbols, such as lighting a red or black candle, reciting invocations, or using feathers in your practice, can deepen your connection. Shadow work is particularly significant when working with the Morrigan. Shadow work involves confronting the parts of yourself that you may hide or ignore, your fears, insecurities, and unresolved emotions. The Morrigan encourages you to bring these aspects into the light, to examine them without judgment, and to transform them into sources of strength and wisdom. Keeping a journal during this process can help you track your progress and notice the patterns she reveals. The Morrigan often communicates through dreams, visions, and synchronicities. For instance, recurring images of crows, wolves, or rivers in your dreams may indicate her presence. Pay attention to these signs and consider what they might be urging you to confront or embrace. Synchronicities, such as encountering her symbols in unexpected places or hearing her name repeatedly, can serve as affirmations that you are on the right path. One of the most powerful ways to honor the Morrigan is by embracing personal transformation. She challenges those who seek her to become their truest selves, even if the process is uncomfortable or difficult. This might mean pursuing a career that aligns with your passions, ending toxic relationships, or learning to set firm boundaries. The Morrigan pushes you to take ownership of your life and to act with courage and integrity. It's important to approach the Morrigan with sincerity and an open heart. She does not tolerate half measures or superficiality. If you call upon her, be prepared for her to challenge you in ways that promote growth and self-discovery. But with these challenges come rewards, a stronger sense of self, deeper insights into your purpose, and a profound connection to the cycles of life and death. Ultimately, working with the Morrigan is a journey of transformation. She will challenge you to face your fears and embrace your strength, but she will also empower you to become the most authentic version of yourself. For those who are ready to answer her call, the Morrigan offers profound wisdom, fierce protection, and the courage to step boldly into your destiny. The Morrigan is more than a goddess of war. She's a guide through the cycles of life and death, a force of transformation that helps us confront our deepest truths. Her myths remind us that within chaos lies potential, and through her lessons, we can find the strength to embrace both the darkness and the light within ourselves. If you found this exploration of the Morrigan inspiring, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you worked with the Morrigan or felt her presence in your life? Share your experiences and join the conversation. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into mythology, spirituality, and ancient wisdom. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.